Heidi ho neighbors, Radio Goji here, and welcome back to Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. And when we last left off, we saw Lizzie's chapter in the holiday camp, and now we're heading into the next part of the main part of the town here.
Faster than I can encode it.
Whoa.
I've already lost 2 processors. They keep burning out.
Please, I love you. You need to get out of there. It's not safe.
I need you, Stephen. I need you here. I can open the gate manually. I can let you in.
It's too dangerous. You don't understand what's happening.
No, you don't understand. We can solve this. We can find a way. I just need more power. I need to amplify the signal, and I can't do it on my own. You saw the opportunity. You ran the numbers, remember?
We're responsible for all this. You and me.
It's not just you and me anymore, though, is it?
Jesus, Kate, you're trying to talk to her, aren't you? Kate, you can't.
Stephen, I have to.
Okay, so, yeah, obviously bad stuff's going on. But we're heading into basically a Little Tipworth, which is an area that's very much analogous, I think, to Yawton near the beginning of the game. There are a lot more landmarks, a lot more buildings we can go inside. And the directions I wrote down make a hell of a lot more sense. Rather than from the past 2 chapters.
It's completely dead. It won't start.
It's only a short walk to the camp. I think we should split up. You go and fetch Rachel. I'll go back to the village and find Evie.
I don't think we should split up.
I don't want to either, Charlie, but we've got to. I'll meet you back at my house later on, okay? We can talk properly then.
Why won't you tell me what happened?
No, actually, you should stay at the camp tonight. Come and find me in the morning. Bring Rachel back. She's going to need her mother.
Meg.
Just take care of her.
Meg!
What is it, Charlie?
Nothing. Just be careful, that's all.
I will, I promise. You as well. See you later on.
Alright, so... But yeah, that's, we're more or less back to, more or less one main road which, you know, kind of leads, or branches off into each of the different events, and then you can go back to the main road and, you know, find your way to the next one. It's sort of like... They sort of did that with the last chapter, although it was a little bit more complicated in that there was just like the road looped around, and like I said, it took me a while. I mean, not really too long, but it took me a while to find you know, that one event that I missed that made it so that I couldn't get to the last event. And that's why I had to split the video up there, because I didn't want to spend too much time looking for that one event. That's a jazzy phone.
But why on earth are you there? Why aren't you calling from home?
It's hard to explain. I'm having to move around to follow it. When it finds a suitable host, it begins to amplify. Sorry, I'm not making much sense.
They're talking about flu and a quarantine on the radio, but this... I know you're not that kind of doctor, but it all just sounds really weird.
We don't know exactly what it is
Well, aliens are weird.
but it's got something to do with the other night.
Stephen, your face, the mark, do you think you're infected?
It's not a disease, Lizzie. It's something else. There's something Kate said about patterns. I can't grasp it clearly yet.
Okay, come over. Have some lunch. We can talk properly. Have you spoken with Kate?
But she's locked herself in the observatory. She's buried in the data. But it's already out here in the world. I need to see how it adapts.
How what adapts? Stephen, try that extra.
Whoa.
Time's up. Lizzie, listen. Be ready. I need to go. It's moving again. I'll call you later.
Yeah, I was just thinking while they were talking there. The last chapter, the reason I forgot that it was a thing is because it's actually very, very short. It's, you know, very much tacked on to the end. The area that you're in is extremely small. So, depending on how much time that I have, after this chapter in this video, I may just, like, stick it in the same one. But yeah, there's also a chance that, you know, I just may make it an extremely short video. Oh, there's actually a motion event in here, in this side room. Shut the door to get out of the way.
Do you think she'll like it? She's in an awful state.
Oh, God, Wendy.
But I don't
It'll
think
be an
she'll...
adventure. It'll mean putting down roots here, maybe a family.
Are you sure she wants children? What, to stay here? It's not her place, you know.
Don't start it again, please.
I mean, she's ambitious, love, and she's, well, older. She's not going to want to stay cooped up at home looking after the kids.
Is that how you felt about me?
Oh, stop it, Stephen. That's not what I meant, and you know it. I'm just saying you should make a choice. If it's a family you want, well, you know how much Lizzie wants a family.
Jesus, man, I didn't come here for marriage guidance. I just asked what you thought about a fucking house.
Stephen, Appleton language.
Sorry, it's just that you have to understand. Kate is the most brilliant, extraordinary, wonderful person I've ever known. She's like no one else. The way she looks at things. It's like she has whole worlds inside her head. I don't think you or anyone really understands that.
You know, now that you think about it a little bit more, Wendy kind of reminds me of the mom from The Room, where, Colette, I think her name was, where, you know, where Lisa's always talking, like, you know, when they have the same conversation, like, 5 times during the movie, and, like, the conversation is constantly, I don't love Johnny anymore, and then Colette's like, you should love Johnny because he's Johnny. And this is basically kind of like that. It's, I don't like, I like Kate. No, you should be with Lizzie. Like, Wendy is, you know, Wendy is going out of her mind to try and get Stephen and Lizzie together for whatever reason. I think it's just, she might be, like I said, you know, a terrible racist person. She doesn't like Americans. She doesn't like other scientist ladies. I don't know what her deal is with Kate, but...
Physical changes are evident. Although the butterfly burn is now faded, I can clearly see the change in my pores up close. As I record these words, I can feel myself hearing them as if for the first time, as if I'm both speaker and listener simultaneously. I am a scientist. I can only deal with the evidence I have. And this points in one simple direction. It's not in the observatory.
Where is it? Well, that's your fault then. Jesus. So yeah, obviously everything's pointing to you know, Kate being the cause of the end of the world, but I still have my, you know, main overarching theory as to Wendy being the one who causes the apocalypse. And trust me when I say, in this chapter we will finally get the answer to that. You know, why do I think that Wendy killed the world?
Kate, can you hear me?
Is that it? No. Okay.
I'm trying to make things right. I've isolated myself. I'm in the old bunker at the substation. Just keep this band clear. If it's still alive, I'll try and check in every hour.
But you don't want to be using the phones because they'll spread it.
I've convinced them to use the gas. I didn't know how else to stop it. I couldn't save them. Kate is in us, too. I've made arrangements for myself after the strike, after I finish the job. You need to think of that, too. And I'm sorry.
I think Kate's gone bye-bye at this point.
I'm sorry about it all.
Like, not necessarily, you know, bye-bye as in abducted, but like bye-bye as in not all mentally there. I mean, obviously just like listening to the radio and stuff like that, you can tell that she kind of reached that point long ago, but still. And there's a phone in here. Obviously you can hear it. Is it upstairs? No, I didn't write down exactly where the phone was, but oh, it's over here.
No phones, you know the protocol. That doesn't matter now. It's figured out how to circumvent the telecommunications blackout. What? I didn't think it could. Kate understood. She saw how adaptable it was. How smart.
Jesus Christ, you're talking about it like it's alive.
You have to assume that everyone here is infected.
We can't know
We're
that.
infected. It's killed all the birds, and now it's in us. It's trying to leave the valley any way it can. The quarantine is not enough. You've got to remove the carrier.
energy source. It's food.
I've already told you, Stephen, I'm not going to order
You
an
have
airstrike.
to. Now it knows we're onto it. It's going to keep on spreading as fast as it can.
The quarantine and blackout will hold it in check. They've cut all of the phones out of the valley, so it's only you communicating
Are
out
you
now.
listening? It's figured out ways around it. Radio waves, something. All of the lines are cut, but the phones are working anyway. You've done all the right things, but it's not enough. You've got to stop it before it adapts again.
Stephen, my family, my wife and kids.
You know perfectly well what you've got to do.
I can't do it. Don't ask me to do it. You're asking me to sign their death warrant. My own family.
Don't you think I'm aware of that?
Oh, this was on the,
I'll still be here when you drop the fucking stuff. Don't you lecture me about sacrifice, you spineless little shit. If you're so full of ideas, you come here and try dealing with it. Tell them the time when we had a choice is over. Tell them to do it. You've got to do it now.
That's why that sounds so familiar. That was the same conversation that Clive and Stephen were having. It was going over Frank's CB radio back in Chapter 3. So yeah, that's like the full extent of that conversation. So let's head up to... This is the other pub in town. The Seventh Whistler, I believe. And if you go for the achievement for standing at both pubs counters for 3 minutes each, you can do that here too. Also, some of the chalkboards I think are the same.
You look well.
I don't. But thank you.
Well, here's where they hooked up again.
How are you settling in?
Nothing changes around here. I mean, it's great to be back. It still feels like home, I suppose. In a funny kind of way.
It's been a long time, Stephen. Last time you saw me, I could still walk properly.
You look pretty good to me.
Stop it.
Oh, that was a cigarette.
For what it's worth, I'm sorry about how things worked out.
Or didn't.
Or didn't, right.
Do you think you made a mistake leaving?
My mum tells me it's never too late to change things. To put things right.
Funny. It's just what she said to me the other day. I have been wondering what she meant by that.
Oh, well, she's just saying stupid things.
Sorry.
Because she's a bitch.
Maybe I should go.
Why?
Stephen, we're both married. I don't think this is a good idea.
What is it? We're just two old friends having a drink, that's all.
Well, but they don't realize the most important thing that's going on here. It's only £2 for curry and a pint. Seriously, you gotta... There's again, see? Only £2. That's... I don't know how much that is in 1980s money. But, just focus on the bigger picture here, just all I'm saying. Alright, so... Now that we know that nobody truly cared about the proper things in life, like carrying a pint for only £2, let's head up to the train station here, because there's, of course, more trains. The train spotter achievement can be finished here, because there are a couple trains which you can see the numbers. But I'm not going to go straight for them, because, I mean, obviously, like I said, I've already platinumed this game, so I'm not really going out of my way to show off every single thing, but I do at least want to, mention things here and there if they come to mind. There should be an event over here? What say you, Stephen Ball? Where's the event? Maybe these stairs? Yeah, there we go.
I've never seen it.
They do, though.
You're overreacting.
Stephen, they stare at me. Yesterday I went into the village and this old woman just stopped in the middle of the street and stared at me like I had two heads.
Oh, don't be so melodramatic.
I'm like a walking freak show. Oh, this place, it's so insular. I just don't understand how you grew up here.
Well, I was very different then. And they're not so bad, really.
That's easy for you to say.
Just give it a bloody chance, Kate. This was the deal. A year here, and we could be in with a real shot at Messiah.
Stephen!
Oh, Christ, it's Lanthan.
Stephen Appleton, I thought it was you. What's all this about a young wife? Oh. Hello.
Two heads, Stephen. Hi, I'm Kate.
Alright, let's cross the tracks here. And, I guess we could have gone up and around the stairs, but I feel like being a rebel, so I went across the tracks. You know, because you don't ever know when a train will come up in the world where people aren't alive anymore. But there is an important inside the terminal here. An important event. It actually shows the fate of Lizzie, which we were denied in Lizzie's chapter, so...
Darling Stephen, I don't know if you'll ever listen to this. Maybe you've decided to stay with Kate, and I can't blame you for that. But I can't wait for you either. I've got to think about the baby. And, well, I should have left a long time ago. I've run out of excuses for not leaving now. But I do love you, Stephen. And I hope you find peace one way or another. Oh, there's planes coming.
Oh no, those aren't friendly planes. Those aren't the ones you like. Oh, then she died. Okay, so, Alright, so Lizzie and Stephen did indeed have a baby. And that's what... that is what the smaller orb going around the Lizzie light was. There's the bombs being dropped. And that's why we didn't get to see Lizzie's end during her chapter, because she met her fate at the train station waiting for Stephen, and not at the holiday camp. Mind the gap. I don't think anyone's going to be around to do that. I think there's some more stairs here. At least there's some... I know there's another event on the way out of the train station. And I don't think we need to be going too much farther past here. Okay, no, I know exactly where that leads, and that's not where we want to go just yet. I'll point it out later, but there's kind of a bit of a side street loop thing that's going to another area we're going to be going to later with a dead end. So I think there's another stairs out of the parking lot, so we'll be going that way then, away from the terminal. Oh, there's people crashing their cars. All inconsiderate like. Another event here.
They closed the tunnel.
There's no
Oh, there it is.
trains. I've put up a sign.
The tunnel, Howard. Is it closed?
I think so. I don't like it. It's not right at all.
Stop whining. It doesn't help anyone. Did you know you're bleeding?
Oh, this headache is just killing me. I haven't had a nosebleed like this since I was a kid.
But you've not been to the village?
No, I've been here the last couple of days, or at home. I've only spoken to Clive at the EMC on the phone. Well, tried to anyway, but with all the crossed lines.
But no direct contact with any other people?
No, no one. What are you talking about? What's going on?
It's the pattern. It's adapted again. It doesn't need direct contact to transfer. It's using the phones.
What do you mean, direct contact? Stephen!
And that's where he finds out that they're in the phones. Even though we figured that out at the beginning of the freaking game. That was one of the first conversations that was had, was they're in the phones. Alright, let's go into this, gas station here. Or petrol, like, whatever you want to call it. I'm an American, so I say gas station. Deal with it.
This is Catherine Collins, recording for posterity.
Mm-hmm.
It's all over. I don't know how long I've got. Whatever he did, whatever the planes were carrying, it's burning my lungs. Probably
the
some
gas.
kind of nerve agent. I suspect it's only exposure to the pattern that has kept me alive this long. I'm making my way to Tower 6. I'm going to fuse the signals from the optical array. I just hope I can make it.
Alright, and then there's, I believe, a phone inside the cafe here. Yes. Where's the phone? Oh, right here.
Hello? Hello, is there anyone there? Can anyone hear me? Clive? Clive, it's Stephen Appleton. Are you there? Can you hear me? Over. Come on, Clive, where are you? Damn it. Kate, it's Stephen. Come in Tower 6. Kate, are you there? Kate? Anyone, hello? Can anyone hear me? This is Dr. Stephen Appleton broadcasting from within the quarantine zone. Can anybody hear me? Over.
Oh, somebody heard you, alright.
Fucking hell, no!
You can go into the cafe if you want. It's kind of like the the doctor's office. There really isn't a lot in here to do. I think there might be some like books or whatever that are for some of the other achievements in there, but nothing event or story related there. So let's head on down this way to the wholesaler store. There we are. We're just about halfway through, I think. Halfway through the chapter, at least all the events that I have written down here. So there really isn't too much else to do. So we're almost done with the game. Or I'm almost done showing you the story. There really isn't too much to do in the game. It's just all very self-explanatory.
You're a daft old bird walking all the way out here for it. You know Charlie would have dropped it off.
What, and have that stinking great lorry of his poisoning my birds? He shouldn't be driving it on these lanes. It's a hazard.
I think he was hoping he could have a word with you about Frank.
There's nothing to say.
Oh, listen, Wendy, they might all be scared of you, but that's not going to work with me. You're 68 years old. Grow up. Talk to Frank.
How dare you speak to me like that? Give me my bird feeder right now.
Promise me you'll drop by and see your brother.
Megan Holloway,
Not a chance. Promise me. It's for your own good, and you know it.
You are a shamelessly manipulative and difficult woman.
Well, you're a bitch.
It's no wonder Charlie adores you so much.
No wonder I do what?
No wonder you never finish what you start. I thought I told you to check the incoming stock orders. Wendy, one bird feeder for you. I'll tell Frank you'll stop by.
Oh!
Charlie, stop mooning around and stick the kettle on. Make yourself useful.
Okay. We can't go in the office there. Though they did bother to make an office to there at the very least. So let's head to the warehouse here. I don't know if you can get under the truck. No, bonk your head. So yeah, go all the way around the truck and into the warehouse here. And this is actually a motion event. This is very important. Because there's a whole bunch of stuff knocked down here. And some blood. And this blood isn't necessarily caused by the pattern. This is a fairly memorable scene, in my opinion.
Appleton! What are you doing here? You thieving bastard. I knew it was you.
Take everything you need. But then you have to leave. You don't understand. You can't be near me.
Painting his stupid little pictures. Stealing food.
You always were a little prick. Please, every second we're in proximity makes it worse. I'm a primary conduit.
You're a fucking disgrace. Come here!
Don't touch me, get off!
What's going on?
Come in here, lord
Jesus,
it over
Sam!
us. Thinking you're so much better
Sam,
than the
leave
rest
me.
of us.
No physical
You and your
contact.
stupid fucking missus.
stop
She's
it.
better than any of you.
Sam? Meg, please.
Don't come near me.
Meg!
Charlie!
Meg! Meg, wait!
Don't touch me!
Please, you have to understand, it was an accident! Get off her!
Let go, let's just go.
Charlie, you have to understand, it was an accident.
Just leave him. Leave him.
What have you done, Appleton, you bastard?
Come on, Charlie, let's just
Meg,
get out of
Charlie,
here.
please!
I only accidentally bashed his head in with a hammer. Oh, so Stephen killed Sam. I really don't know what. I really don't remember who Sam is. They threw so many characters at you, and you really only know. I mean, you know who the main ones are, obviously, but you have a whole bunch of other, supporting actors here, and it gets hard to keep track of them all sometimes. Like, I barely remember who Sam was, but Stephen, at the very least, we know Stephen went so crazy he accidentally, killed somebody who backtalked his wife. Or, well, not backtalked, but talked about his wife. Let's go to Howard's house. This is Howard's house over here. Howard's the train guy. He has a model train here. And, I'll probably show you the model train when I'm done, but let's answer his phone first.
Station Master's house, Howard Lantham speaking. Howard, it's Clive Smith. I need you to listen to me and not ask questions or interrupt. Can you do that? Yeah, I can. But why are you calling? The Emergency Measures Committee is imposing a quarantine around the valley. We've got an influenza outbreak in the village. We're suspending rail services, and we're also going to be shutting down the roads for a bit. You're going to be dealing with some anxious people, Howard, so you need to explain it's all under control, and we'll be back to normal in a few days. All right? Open up the emergency store. There's posters and boards, along with a bunch of stuff that hasn't been used since the war. Grab anything you think might be useful. I need you to close up any unoccupied buildings, put posters up, that sort of thing. Make sure everything is all squared away and shipshape. You are a military man, I'm sure you understand that. Everyone doing their bit, following their orders. All right? All right? I think. Good man. I knew we could count on you. Ah, Jesus, Race. What the hell was that?
Yeah, Howard does have a train set upstairs. And, it's kind of a fun thing, so I'll just show it off real quick. Can I open... Is it in here? No, it's not in here. Also, notice the lights in this game don't really illuminate places very well. That's the bathroom. Here it is. And you can make the train go a little bit. And if you sit here playing with the train for like a few minutes, you get an achievement for that, so... It's kind of a neat, fun little thing they added in there. And there's a little uniform. Alright, so remember when I was talking earlier about going further down the track, which I almost did, and I said that there was going to be like a dead end up ahead if you went down the track? Well, basically here's where those two paths meet, is right up here at this barricade. Obviously, if you head up to the track, it's going to take you to the train station eventually. In fact, I think you can see it from here, more or less. But the reason we came up here is because of the radio.
Repeating over and over to myself in the dark, eating cold food from a can with my fingers. My name is Catherine Collins. I am Catherine Collins. As if I can force the world to acknowledge my existence. Time has ceased to exist in any real terms. I'm reduced to marking out the days on the walls. Like a cave woman.
I guess that's what happened to her after the, she kept this... She was like one of the only people left in the world after the, or at least one of the only people left around here after the bombs hit. Come on, sprint, let's go. Alright, so we're gonna go head this way. That leads back to the... Oh, in between the... If we go in between the gas station and the wholesalers, we'll go down this road, which will take us towards the last events of the game. And, well, at least the last events of the chapter. Like I said, there's still another chapter after this, but the last events we're going to be, have to walk around and find. All of the other events after that are just going to be basically right in our faces, ready to observe, so that's a thing.
Jesus, man, what have you done to your face?
It's nothing. You collecting feed? Looks like the supplies have been coming in.
Huh? Again?
Phones are all strange. I can't pinpoint the logic of transmission.
You what? What are you doing with that paint?
Means the EMC are actually moving at the proper speed. Listen, Frank. Have you heard anything on the radio about a flu outbreak?
Doesn't seem much like flu to me.
They're shutting down access to the valley to try and isolate it. No. Something about the phones. I can't put my finger on it quite yet.
What are you talking about? Hey, I'm still talking to you. Where are you going?
So I notice since this is, I guess, the Stephen chapter, it is, a lot of the story we've seen up to this point is more or less after he's had all of his epiphanies and whatnot. And, this is where he's having all of those, epiphanies, and he's figuring out what's going on, over time. And there's one more thing to do here. I can just, I don't even need to look at the walkthrough anymore at this point. I pretty much know what to do from here. And there's a phone. Where's the phone? Is it in here? Can I open that? Oh, that phone.
It's all over the valley. Don't you get that? This isn't some abstract thing. Whatever came down into the tower has got out. They've quarantined the whole valley.
It's right here in the observatory.
It's out in the world. It's adapting and spreading. Do you understand?
No, we can't turn it away. It's come too far.
Okay, people are disappearing. Shut it down now.
No. If you won't help me, I'll do it on my own. I'm gonna route all the power back through Tower 6.
Kate.
Wait. It's trying to break through again.
Wait.
Oh dear. Now, here's where we're getting to the whole meat of my theory here. That the theory that's been going on, where I said, Wendy is the one who started the end of the world, and right here on this path is a motion event that will more or less tie that whole theory together, and then I'll explain what I mean. I mean, it should be pretty self-explanatory, but I like explaining things, so... Oh, my controller battery's low.
Come here, this was a mistake.
What do you want me to say? You knew what you were getting into.
Really?
Well, I'm sorry we don't measure up to your exacting standards, Dr. Collins. Maybe you just need to give us ordinary humans a break.
What? Ordinary humans like Lizzie Graves? Did you really think that I wouldn't find out? Frank told me, or did you forget there's one person in this shithole who actually talks to me?
Kate, it was just a drink.
Don't bother, Stephen!
Oh, for Christ's sake. Kate, slow down.
You were engaged to her, Stephen. You nearly married her.
Oh, come on, it was just a drink.
Then why the hell did you lie to me about it?
Because I knew you'd be mad and then it would end up in a row. You wanted to focus on the event tonight.
Oh, so you were actually doing me a favor. Wow, I guess I just forgot to say thank you. Do not treat me like I'm an idiot.
You're overreacting. I know you're stressed.
Just don't. You keep away from me. I'm not gonna let you ruin this for me.
Kate, come on, this is crazy.
Okay, so here's the whole skinny on my theory. way back in Chapter 2, you know, we discovered that Wendy is very... pretty much the entire game, we pretty much... we pretty much deduced that Wendy doesn't like Kate in the slightest. And pretty much from the beginning, she's been trying to break up Kate and Steven, and she was even able to convince Lizzie and Steven to go and have that drink. Kate finds out about that and gets all mad, and more or less, because even then the drink was like, one thing leading to another, and Steven ended up sleeping with Lizzie. Kate found out, and she wasn't all, and she got all, super pissed. I mean, obviously it's very understandable. And then she went off and said she didn't want to see Steven anymore, and then that basically made her become more intoxicated with the whole being possessed by the pattern and all that, allowing the pattern to spread, even, going out of her way to let the pattern spread, leading to the end of the world. So, that is my theory. Wendy Boyles is the one who ended the world. Huh? Huh? That's how I pieced it together.
Pressure in my eyes again. I can't move my legs, can't feel my face. When I collapsed, the light was waiting for me there. Caught me, lowered me. Now it's pooling around my feet, watching me.
Yep.
The printers are spewing out page after page of zeros. It's frightened too. It'll be okay. It'll be
See?
fine. I'll look after you.
Because she went bye-bye.
It's alone. It's scared. Oh, it's traveled so far. It's okay.
Come on.
I can help you. We can be together now.
Are you done?
30 seconds to signal fusion. We can be together. 3 seconds.
That wasn't quite 7 seconds. Are you done? Okay. So, we're pretty much at the end of the chapter here. The signal that tells you it's okay to move on to the next part of the chapter, basically the part that tells you, where to go next, is you can see the light traveling along these power lines and leading you to this, I think this is a power station, or, yeah, I think this is a power station. And this leads you over into this bunker here. And this is where... This is actually the point of no return for the game. Once you go in here, that's it. If you missed anything, you can't go back and get it. And this is basically leading to, the end of the chapter here. So, we're eventually going to run into Steven down here. Well, I mean, not Steven's physical body, obviously, still his glowy self, but this is the point of no return right here.
When I was a kid, my dad found a fox. It had been hit by a car and couldn't walk anymore. My mum went spare, of course, made him keep it in the shed. He was already slipping away from us then. He spent hours with that fox, telling it all about Italy and the villages they bombed there. I was jealous, I think. The fox got more of my dad than I did. But it was dying, that was clear. So one day, I snuck out, took it a sandwich for food. I was only 8. When it bit me, I remember the anger, the shock, the hurt. Running in, screaming from the garden. My mum panicking about rabies.
Right, stuff on the
My
walls.
dad beat it to death with a spade. Later I found him crying. I'd done it, Ken, son. That's what he said. I'd done it, Ken, it was hurting you. That's just a poor, dumb, dying animal. doesn't know it's hurting us. Christ help us, it's left the valley. It's everywhere now. It's been 3 hours since the planes went over. I haven't been able to reach anyone on the shortwave. I'm beginning to think I may have made a terrible miscalculation.
You think? You shouldn't have cheated on your wife. That was your miscalculation. But then again, I guess your mother can be a really persuasive lady. Oh.
What are you? You understand me, don't you? Well, there's no one left. Just me. You know what this is? What I'm gonna do? You want light? Fine. I'll give you light. After me, there's no one. You'll be all alone again. Forever. Like before. You've taken everyone I've ever loved from me. You've made me do things I never even thought I was capable of. But if you think I'm coming with you... Kate? Wait. Stop. Kate.
So he had set gas up all around him, and then was taking out his lighter, preparing to light himself up. And he saw Kate in the pattern, went after it, and dropped the lighter. There's the same sort of fire pattern thing that we saw from the candles in the church. So it looks like we're not really going to have much time left for the last chapter. I don't really know how long that's going to take me, but I don't want to risk, you know, that it'll take 15 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and, well, I'm not going to put it right here, but let's wait for the transition to the last chapter.
This is Catherine Collins. I don't know if anyone will ever hear this. It's all over. I'm the only one left.
There's a Kate chapter. And we're at the Vallis Observatory. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the video here. And when we come back, the real final chapter of the game. So until then, I've been Rado Goji, and I'll be here next time. Join me, won't you?